Welcome to the Wild and Curious podcast, a show that's part travel,
part feminism,
and completely inspired by extraordinary women worldwide. I'm Theresa Christine.
And I'm Suzanne Schmedding.
Hi there. I am Theresa Christine.
And I am Suzanne Schmedding.
The Wild and Curious is a project that came about honestly because we were binging some travel shows. So Anthony Bourdain's show,
right,
Parts Unknown, is truly brilliant. I love his show. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but I will say I was watching the show and feeling really hungry for more of the stories from the women's perspective.
Yeah, like we talked about this, like where you watched and you really wanted to see the story of the woman who was actually cooking the food and preparing it.
And very often I felt like it was Tony, first name basis. It was Anthony Bourdain, sitting at a table talking with the son or the grandson about this particular dish.
Yeah.
And so it got me thinking about how can we highlight some of these female stories, not necessarily related to culinary, but just in general. The Wild and Curious pulls in all sorts of different elements from feminism to culture and travel and also female bonds and friendships. So it only made sense for me to bring on my best friend, you, Suzanne.
Me. When you presented this option, I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, of course I want to do this. Of course I want to travel with you.
Passion project together. How cool is that?
It's super cool. It's so funny. We met because you had placed an ad on Craigslist, and I was looking for a roommate, and I sent what I thought was a very funny tongue-in-cheek email with like the headline, "I'm the Craigslist killer," being like, of course I'm not, because why would you put that as the subject?
It was so bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw that email subject and I was like, next.
But you gave it another shot because
I didn't give it another shot. You gave it another shot because you emailed again to be like, hi. Just checking in.
Like, hi, I'm actually very nice and have
and you were when I came in person, you did seem sane, which was good. And I was like, well, I really need a place to live, so I'll take the chance.
We should also mention my apartment is be cute.
Oh, your apartment's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun. So we met that way. I'm so thankful that I was persistent and you were desperate. Best relationship ever.
That's how it all started.
Yeah, it true.
And since then, I have actually, when I moved in with you, I did tell a little white lie, and I said that I was employed when I was not. But I got a job pretty quickly as a writer, and since then, I have become a full-time freelance travel writer. So I travel the globe and uncover really cool stories and get to share them with people.
For my own career, like I've been working for a nonprofit for the last few years, doing arts education for schools that don't have federal funding, and we provide a safe space for kids. But I think because I met you, I've recently decided to try and expand that and live abroad and just be helpful and teach across the world. And I love that our friendship has inspired me to do change, to meet more women, to meet more people, to, just be a more global citizen. What is that quote by Mark Twain? I butcher it always. But
oh my gosh. Nope. This is the exact quote. You're going to quote it perfectly. It's going down in history right now. What did he say?
Oh my gosh, this is so much pressure, said Mark Twain. No, he said something like, to travel the world is the death of prejudice and ignorance. Like you can never again do that.
Quote, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm close-ish.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I love that idea that like through meeting people and talking to people and finding our similarities and differences, like the world gets bigger and smaller.
I think what I'm most excited for with the Wild and Curious podcast, and this wasn't something that I necessarily set out with the project. I just thought it would be really wonderful to share these stories. But then a side product of that has been, I feel like we're really uplifting other women. So it's like the epitome of women lifting women up. And I think that's so beautiful.
I have so loved getting to chat with some of the amazing women we're doing, and they're working to lobby governments. They're changing cultural barriers and practices, and even if it's just on a podcast across the world, like we're sharing their stories, we're making them a little bit more known, and I don't know, I kind of love that.
So thank you so much for joining us. And you can find out more at thewildandcurious.com. And we hope that you enjoyed the journey with us. You've been listening to the Wild and Curious podcast, hosted by me, Theresa Christine.
And me, Suzanne Schmedding. If you've enjoyed this episode, there's more where this came from. Subscribe to the Wild and Curious podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You can also follow along with our adventures on Instagram. Our handle is @_thewildandcurious_, and we will also put that in the show notes for you.
We are always looking for extraordinary women to talk to you on our show. If you have someone in mind, or you are that someone, go to thewildandcurious.com to let us know.